It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the GM for the Burlington Sock Puppets, Anderson Rathbun. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Brandon. Thanks for having me on.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work in professional sports?
Yeah, I growing up in high school, I never really had any business classes, but I was fortunate enough to take one my senior year of high school. And the teacher, the first day of class, said, "If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life." And if anybody who knows me, I don't like to work. Never was big on the working in school or anything like that. But I knew I loved sports and I wanted to do something with sports. So when I got to college and when I went to college, that was the focus was what can I do to set myself up for a career in sports.
What was your experience like with the Burlington Royals?
Yeah, when I interned here in 2015, it was fantastic. I lucked out on how I got the internship. Actually, the uh, brother of the general manager who was here at the time went to Clemson and was in one of my public speaking classes, and I gave a speech on how I wanted to work in baseball. And after the class, he tugged me on the backpack and said, "Hey, my brother worked for the Burlington Royals. Would you want an internship?" And I said, "Yeah." Uh, I got the internship, and the rest is history. But that summer was fantastic. Our AGM and our GM were awesome people to work for. I learned a lot, and yeah, it really solidified the fact that yeah, I want to work in minor league sports.
What was your experience like going to Clemson for pro, going as a sports intern?
Yeah, Clemson. If you want to work in sports, if you want to be around sports, I'd be hard pressed to find a better school than Clemson right now specifically. So it was great when I went there. Deshaun Watson was just was becoming a thing, and Clemson football was really starting to become a powerhouse. So it was a lot of fun being around sports. I worked in the for the football program, worked for the athletic department, and it was just a great time. It was a great time being exposed to that to the large. Uh, publicity of that the sports program had there.
Can you talk about, of course, coming back as the GM of the Burlington Royals?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely a fun life moment of just hey, everything comes full circle. When I left here in 2015, I came back and I helped during the playoff run that the Royals had in 2016, and I stuck with Ryan Kerr, who was the general manager then, who became the president of the Dayton Tortugas, and then acquired the club here in March. So yeah, it was an awesome opportunity. I love it here. Burlington's a great community. It really is a baseball town. It's not as big as the surrounding cities of Durham, Burlington, Durham, Greensboro, High Point, Winston, you name it. But I think it really has its own niche in the baseball community, and I couldn't be more proud and happy to be where I'm at.
Can you talk about, of course, what was the transition like renaming the team?
Yeah, I think it was a tremendous honor first and foremost that we were able to take a team that's never had a true local identity and make it Burlington's and make it Alamance County. So that was an opportunity that we didn't take lightly, and we had a lot of fun with at the same time of finding something unique, something creative, something that Burlington, North Carolina can call its own. I mean, there's 7 or 8 Burlingtons in the country, it feels like, and we finally have something that is completely 110% Burlington, North Carolina's.
What is the roles and responsibility as the GM for the Burlington Sock Puppets?
Yeah, so I handle all the business operations. I oversee the business operations from a day to day perspective. I oversee the sales, the sales force, the ballpark events, the game day operations, the in park operations, cash flow, you name it. Pretty much, we at the end of the day we are a for profit business, and we operate as such. And I get to be the one that oversees all of those operations and activities.
What are some of like are y'all a minor league team? So are y'all affiliated with like a major league team?
So we're not affiliated specifically with a minor league or with a major league affiliate. Instead, we are affiliated with Major League Baseball in general. So technically, we are a collegiate level baseball team, but we are one of a very, very few collegiate level leagues that are specifically affiliated with Major League Baseball, and then also USA Baseball on top of that. We're very incredibly lucky about how the transition between what we were with the Royals and what we are now with the Sock Puppets. We're incredibly lucky about who we're partnering with.
With the sock puppets, can you elaborate more on so for example, do they get to sign their own contracts, or do you have players that let's say the New York Yankees might have drafted and said, "Hey, you're going down to the sock puppets."
Yeah, so Major League Baseball and USA Baseball, they are organizing what Major League Baseball deems as the prospect development pipeline, and within that, they've done the Appalachian League, which what we are now, as the premier collegiate sports level, one of them, sports leagues rather, and the USA Baseball is the operator of this league. So what they do is they deem who's the top 300 um, college prospects, and then they offer them opportunities to play in this league. So there's no contractually based signings that happen here. USA Baseball invites players to play in this league, and players accept, and the rest is for fun.
What are some of your accomplishments during the Burlington Sock Puppets?
Yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't say anything specifically my accomplishment. I think we have a great team here of our owner Ryan, myself, and Thomas Vickers, our AGM. What we're focusing on is, well, one, I think we had an incredible launch, one of the probably the best launch that we could have envisioned when we wanted to switch our name and our brand. So one, we're incredibly proud of that. And then two, Thomas and myself are really working on connecting with this community, both from a new brand standpoint and then overall being just good community stewards of, hey, we're a baseball team here. We have a venue. What can we do on top of that than just baseball? So I'm really proud of the work Thomas, myself, and our owner Ryan has done here, and believe it when I say we're gonna be taking this to the moon, and I'm really excited to grow with our community here.
What are some of your traditions that you implemented?
Traditions.
Hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say that there's any specific traditions, once again, that I implemented myself. I think Thomas, once again, my AGM, him and I work very, very closely together, and we're very seamless in our thought process and our vision. And I think it's that makes all the difference. And what he and I are trying to do here is build something that's more than just baseball. As cliche as that sounds, I think Burlington has always prided itself on its summer traditions, but the ballparks here more than just 27 to 35 games a year in the summer. So what are we doing outside of the summer months, and what are we doing to grow the game, but also grow the community and create these programs that lead to a more diverse and exciting time to live here in Burlington. So I think those are some of the traditions we're trying to create and trying to implement, and so far so good.
What is the game day atmosphere on game day like?
Yeah, we haven't really had a game day here. Thomas and I got up here in March of 2020, so we haven't had a true game day. We haven't been able to show people what a true game day experience is going to be like here. But if you go and you look at in the past, it's traditionally really, really hardcore, just baseball, just enjoying baseball, which is great. But Thomas and I, it's one of those traditions that you asked earlier. That's one thing that we're really looking forward to, is taking that tradition of coming to a ball game and just enhancing that experience like never before. The Savannah Bananas down in Georgia, who their president was the AGM when I was here, Jared Orton. He's a huge role model for me, and I think he does a terrific job. And not even think, I know he does a terrific job in Savannah, creating an experience like no other. So finding our niche and finding what our experience is going to be an extremely fun thing for us to do over these next 3 months before we open our gates on June 5th.
What do you look forward to accomplishing when fans are allowed back in stadiums worldwide?
Yeah, first and foremost, being able to welcome them back safely, right? That's the number one goal. That's the number one thing we're looking forward to. Burlington baseball has been well, Burlington has been out without baseball for almost 2 years, dating back to August of 2019. And if you rewind to November of 2019, they thought baseball was going to be gone entirely. So we went from baseball being gone in 2019 to baseball not being here in 2020 because of the pandemic to finally baseball being secured for the future. And now we're really excited to welcome fans back and show them that experience that I talked about earlier, show them what we're talking about when we say we're going to raise the level of experience. It's all talk right now that Thomas and I are doing in the community. And then we're so excited to actually start walking the walk instead of just talking the talk.
What are some other of your future plans later down in the road?
Yeah, I mean, that is, we have a lot. We have a lot of future plans. I mean, we have a vision for what this ballpark can be and how it can be a true community center and a community events venue. That is, like I said earlier, a lot more than just hosting baseball games. So that's one huge plan for us that we're looking forward to down the road is being able to welcome fans here and community members here, not just for a Burlington Sock Puppets game, but for a random event that they couldn't get anywhere other than Burlington Athletic Stadium. The city of Burlington and the county of Alamance have been tremendous partners. The city of Burlington is committed to having the ballpark here and having the team here, and we couldn't be more proud of being partners with them. The city of Burlington is absolutely fantastic, and we're really excited to see what we can do here in the next 3 to 5 years at least.
What advice would you give upcoming future GMs looking to get into the industry?
That's a great question. I would say start early and know what you want to do. I think when people look at the title general manager, they don't really understand what I do in the sense of I work really just for business. I don't work for a scout. I'm not scouting players. I'm not signing players, etc., which a lot of people think a general manager of a minor league team does. So just educate yourself on what you want to do and the positions that you're looking for. And then 2, just do everything in your power to get your name out there and take advantage of opportunities. And when you get those opportunities, just make sure you do a really good job. When I got to Clemson, when I first stepped foot on Clemson, I knew I wanted to work in sports. So I got a position as a student worker at the ticket office. And from there, I leveraged that to an internship with the Royals and leveraged those for an internship in the Mud Hens and then leveraged those for an internship with the Learfield Sports Properties. That was the sponsorship leg or arm of Clemson Athletics. And then from there, I interned for the Tortugas. And from there, I got a full-time position. So I tried to always make sure I had a position in sports, at least one, as I was going through college. And my goal was nobody could say no to me when I graduated. So, so far, so good in that role. But yeah, like I said, I've kind of gotten lucky with how I turned out. But once again, opportunity is 10% luck, I feel like, but 90% of the job you do when you get that opportunity. So just bust your butt and the rest will come from that.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Burlington Sock Puppets at?
Yeah, so you can. I'm not really a fun social media follower, so I won't even bother you with trying to follow me. But if you follow at Go Sock Puppets across all platforms, you'll have a good time. I promise you that.
Thank you again, Andrew, for your interview, and best of luck with the general manager as the Burlington Sock Puppets.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you, Brandon.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.